My name is Borat. I like you. I like sex. It's nice.
Oh shit, here we go again.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lanes? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
You suck, you jackass.
What? What the fuck?
Here we go again.
In the heart of the Hawkeye State, short track racing has found a big-time stage. Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa, opened in 2006 with a vision from NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace. A 7/8 mile V-shaped oval inspired by Richmond Raceway, built to deliver side-by-side racing in multiple grooves from top to bottom. Since being acquired by NASCAR, this facility has grown into one of the sport's premier short tracks, hosting everything from O'Reilly and Truck Series battles to IndyCar thrills. And in 2024, Iowa's long-awaited moment arrived as the NASCAR Cup Series finally took on this bull ring, packing the stands and proving this place belongs on the big stage. 30,000 strong in the grandstands, campers stacked along the backstretch, and a racing surface that chews up tires and rewards the bold. This is short track racing Iowa style. Tonight, it's all about speed, strategy, and survival. The IROC Challenge Series Fast Laps 200 is next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Iowa Speedway 2011 scan. Series opting for the old version, which, you know what? I'm all for it. Practice qualifying in the books here in Iowa. Warm-up session underway presently. Just a few minutes left in the session before we get too deep into it. We'll look at the race details. 200 laps the distance tonight, 80% fuel on board, should be 68 to 72 laps on a tank of fuel. 4 sets of tires over the wall, no fast repairs, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Weather-wise, 75 degrees, 26% humidity, clear skies, a 4-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temps also nice and cool, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Should provide optimal grip for the competitors out there tonight. Zach Millett, the fastest time in this session, was fastest in practice as well. We'll get into the starting lineup here momentarily as we've got just over 2 minutes left in the session. But taking a look at things here, Zach Millett, top time, then it's TJ Majors, Brent Butler, Jonathan Cofield, Christian Strader, the top 5. And we do have a minor camera issue. We're going to take a very brief hiatus here. We'll be back in just in time. Don't worry. Stay with us. Told you it wouldn't be long. Minute and a half left in the session before we see the black and red flags. And we'll get right into our race session for 200 laps. Taking a look at the sponsors for this season. Fast Laps Open Hearts, the title sponsor of tonight's race. Also Meff's Shirt Shop, Coles County Speedway, R&R Racewear, Johnston Timbers LLC, 3 Wide with DJG, Charity Motorsports, and Care for Kids. Also want to take a look at the upcoming schedule, of course. Fast Laps 200 tonight here at Iowa Speedway. Next week's event, the Lady in Black 125. I hate to say this, but I'm going to be traveling for business next week, so we're going to have to tape delay that one. We're going to go back to that just for next week, and then we'll be back live on the 21st at Michigan for the Charity Motorsports 250. Then on to Charlotte, Talladega, Bristol, Vegas, Phoenix, Pocono, and Homestead. And don't forget May 5th, the All-Star Race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 41 cars attempting to make this 40-car field here this evening, so at least one driver will be going home. That's it. 10 minutes has elapsed for our warm-up session, so that'll do it. Get right into our race session in just a moment. Let's Take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 23.349. It's the 3 of Brian McCann, flanked by Zach Millett, who down to the thousandth place ran the exact same time. iRacing only carries it so far, but McCann coming out on top. Very tight here at the front row. Row number 2, though, it's Kyle Campbell and Brent Butler. Row 3, it's Kevin McCann and William Tyndall. 4th row, it's Carson Quapple and Austin Beers. Garrett Johnston and Gavin Hinson will be in row 5. TJ Major starts from the 11th position. 12th belongs to Shane Haas. 13th starter, it's Jonathan Cofield. Jason Nilgis will be 14th. Daniel Dixon, 15th. 16th starter, it's Christian Strader. Adam Pettit will start from the 17th position. Chris Mefford, 18th. Adam Benefield, 19th. 20th, Steve Durbin. 21st starter, it's Casey Bentz. Slade Benish will start 22nd. 23rd belongs to Kyle
Some
White.
horse shit in that
Devin Aker,
qualifying,
24th. Chuck Sweeting, 25th. Neil Quick in the number 2 will start 26th. 27th starter belongs to Chris Harrison. Cody Wally.
It's my own
little
fault.
brother Chris Wally
I didn't
will
see
start
that the
28th.
qualifying session
29th
has
starter, it's Mike Koch.
a flat rate of
Josh Mears will
10%
roll
rubber
off
on
30th.
track.
31st belongs to
So
Cameron
I was just
Brownlow.
practicing my normal
32nd,
line,
Doug
and
Wysocki.
everybody started running the
33rd,
bottom on the
Timmy
bottom,
Schofield.
or
Kyle
in
Pendergraft,
3 and
34th.
4, and I was like, oh
Zachary
shit.
Cleek will be
So,
35th.
lucky to
Kyle
get
Hardy,
P2.
36th. Chris Quick, 37th. Chris Wally, 38th. Matt Moorman rolls off in his number 60 in the 39th position. And last but not least, Craig Bristol, shown in P40. 41st, Pete Ruzick. Pierce did not make the
Need a
starting
good points
grid here
day.
tonight. Your starting grid here
I
for the
will
Fast
try.
Laps 200 from
Try to be
Iowa
better and
Speedway.
not frick up.
Field already rolling here on one of 2
No
pace
promises,
laps.
though.
Brian McCann rolling down the back straightaway.
See how hard everybody wants to go right off the bat. Yeah, at least if I do, I'll do it early. That way I don't have to hang around all night.
Want to make a note here. Looks like 2 cars did not make the field. Craig Bristol and Pete Ruzick.
He's
Neither
in
driver
first. I don't know.
has taken to the starting grid as of yet. So a 39-car field for tonight's race here in Iowa.
Thinking second gear.
The battle that we're all waiting to see here. Brian McCann and Zach Millett at the front of the field. These guys have quite the history through iRacing. We'll see who comes out on top tonight. Race details, in case you missed it, 200 laps the distance, 80% load of fuel. That's 68 to 72 laps. 4 sets of tires laying over the wall. No fast repairs, 0 zip, zillage, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Field rolling through 3 and 4 for the final time before we get this one underway. Pace car about to make the trip back to pit road. Brian McCann with the field in hand as we roll
Green, green, green.
to the green flag.
Well, we got our 5 bonus points, so.
Millett and McCann still side by side into turn number 3. McCann low side of the racetrack. Zach goes way up top. Couple of lanes up top of the racetrack. Off turn 4, he'll have the run coming back to start finish. And he will lead lap number 1 and clears Brian McCann for the position. Millett running a very high line
pretty
right now
dedicated
here at
to the
Iowa
bottom.
Speedway.
Maybe he'll
It
copy.
helped him get the race lead lap number 1. He'll lead lap number 2 as well. Car length between himself and the 3. The 03 of Kyle Campbell in the 3rd spot. Then it's Brent Butler and then Kevin McCann. William Tyndall in P6. Only changes in that top 6. Well, it was Zach Millett taking the top spot, but now Brent Butler challenging and then completing this pass for 3rd over Kevin McCann.
So bumpy.
Butler clear now. Takes the spot. Kevin McCann to 4th. Kyle Campbell's relegated back to P5. Behind them, Austin Beers working his way forward. He's going to be a contender here tonight, right in the wheelhouse of the driver, that number 64. Again, the 2025 NASCAR Tour Modified champion. Beers around William Tyndall now, so Austin up 2 positions so far. Yeah, Michael Murray in the chat says, let's go Brownlow. Keep it going, guys. Keep that chat busy tonight. Now challenge for the lead as McCann goes back to the bottom.
Caution.
And the yellow comes out just as fast. Real quick, Cody Wally, Chris Harrison, I believe, involved in this one. Some trouble here off turn number 2. Real quick, able to drive away
Yeah, I wondered if
from
the broadcast is going to lag a little bit. It always used to.
Cody Wally
It used to be
leaving
worse
the
than
scene
than
as
a lap,
well.
actually.
Mike Koch in this also. Might have got this one real late as he does have some pretty heavy damage and did decide to tow back to pit lane.
We're going to
Chris
see if that
Harrison
bottom is really going to
taking his
pay off
time
for
getting
Brian.
back to pit road as well. So that puts us under
Imagine
caution
he's doing it
early
for a
here at
reason.
Iowa Speedway. Let's take a look what just happened. Ooh, the 96 drove it in very deep. That was Devin Aker. Then chain reaction after that.
Well, that's a few cars.
Some pretty significant hits. Mike
That's a
Koch
lot of
nose
cars.
first into the safer barrier. That may end his night.
There's definitely some dead cars, man. At least a couple. So, Danny, that spring, I haven't had an issue with it since,
just drives it to
but
the bottom, really
now
hammered
when
the
I
throttle
compress
down.
it just a little bit, like
Tried to
the
force
first
it in there
inch and a
low.
half, it makes a little, like,
Real quick,
coil
had this thing
sound, like
almost
it's-
saved, but then Koch gets into the back,
I know,
sends
it's
him
hard to
up
explain,
in racetrack in front of the
but it's something
71
to
and the
annoy you.
51. Cody
Let me know
Wally.
if yours starts doing that. But yeah, I'm thinking he's saving a little tire down there. I just don't know.
Some bent sheet metal early
I know
here at
late in the
Iowa
run,
Speedway.
that top will probably be where it's at, you know, just because of that exit.
So it was interesting to see as Zach Millett was getting pressure from Brian McCann just prior to that caution coming out. Tire temperatures
Yeah,
up,
you're
tire
not kidding.
pressures
It's
up.
always something.
Might have made Brian
I mean,
McCann
knock
a
on
little
wood, they're
more
still working
comfortable
good.
behind the wheel of that number 3 machine as he decided to put on the attack on Zach Millett. See how this next restart goes.
Yeah, just put it on the tab. Can't badmouth them too bad. I mean, they work pretty damn good.
It's very nice.
All right.
Mike Koch in the chat says, yep, I'm dead.
My name is Borat.
Early exit
I like
to the
you.
0-0. Mike Koch
I like 6.
will be credited with last
It's nice.
place points here tonight.
Never gets
Don't
old.
know if he's officially out. Might be able to get it back out there and pick up a couple of spots, provided we get some more cautions. Tear up some other race cars. He'll have to keep an eye on it, or might just wash his hands of the whole thing. We'll see.
Well, there's 2 cars gone already, I think.
Coming around turn 4 here. Should get the 1 to go signal as they cross start finish. Mike Koch reminding us here in the stream chat again, says engine won't fire, she gone. Pretty hard hit to the nose, the 0-0. Mike says good luck. Have a good broadcast. I'll be watching. Thanks, Mike. Sorry about your luck. Pace car heads to pit lane. We're ready to get this one back underway. First restart of the night. Green flag waves. Zach Millett fires off. Austin Beers now all the way up into the 5th spot. Took advantage on this restart, up 3 positions. Millett comes back to start finish to lead this lap. Side-by-side battle behind the leaders. Kevin McCann, Brent Butler. Butler on the low side, McCann up top. And battle for the lead now as McCann goes to the low side of the racetrack. Billett utilizing that high lane still off turn number 4. Usually fires right off corner exit, able to drive back around the 3. McCann going to have to change up his line here a little bit. He's going to try it again on the bottom, though, and see what he can do with the 3-1 machine of Zach Millett. Man, you see Zach just powers around. Now Kevin McCann to the right rear of brother Brian. Ooh, a little bit of contact, a little brotherly shove. Now Kevin up the middle here, going to take the second spot from Brian. We'll see if he's got any better luck or success running down Zach Millett for the top spot. Kevin down low, just like brother Brian was attempting previously, but Zach still a lane to lane and a half up off the bottom, at least in turns 1 and 2. Almost 2 full lanes off the bottom in 3 and 4. Really has a good drive out. Cameron Brownlow in pit lane here. Not sure what happened. May have been right after the restart. We'll see if we can watch this real quick here. Seems like he had a major connection issue. So I don't see any replays as to what happened. So Brownlow, maybe technical difficulties on his end. Three distinct lanes. We talked about that in the open, how this place has options as far as where you want to place the race car. Top 3 drivers all utilizing different parts of the track. Billett now low to the racetrack. Takes away the lane from Kevin McCann. McCann now up the racetrack off turn number 2. Billett still in charge. Just a car length and a half back to the 33. And then you see, man, it's got to entice the guys behind the 31 there to really hammer down and try and get to the inside of Zach Millett. But he's taken that high lane on purpose. He's really got a good exit. Curiosity, though, is can he maintain that throughout the course of a long run? Can we expect 68 to 72 laps on a full fuel run? Granted, we're going to extend that a little bit here with this early caution.
Kevin's cooking. He's putting that power down.
Does seem like Kevin McCann starting to try and use the same lane as Zach Millett. Dirty air still going to affect these race cars even on this shorter racetrack, just under a mile in length. McCann, though, gained some ground there off turn 2.
Brian's moved
now
up.
Goes back to at least the middle lane.
Might
here
just
on
be a first
Zach.
10 lap type of thing.
Almost up into the marbles in 3 and 4. Has that drive off again. It's paying off for him right now. Top 7, 8, 9 cars here, all single file. Carson Quapple back in the 7th position, right where he started. Kyle Campbell just ahead of him in the 03. Quapple makes a look to the bottom of the racetrack. Campbell able to hang on to it. William Tyndall, Adam Pettit. Pettit in the 49, Tyndall the 62. It's a fight for the 13th position. Here comes Adam Benefiel in the 41/0 machine. Zach Cleek and Steve Durbin now side by side. Durbin in the 81, Cleek on the bottom in the 11. just for the bottom half of the top 20. About 18th and 19th here. One car real loose behind him. 38 machine of Shane Haas gathered it back up, almost turning around in front of the field. Now he's way low on the racetrack. Problems here for Shane Haas, and he loses connection quickly. Might have been having some problems himself as he has exited the session quickly against his will. Back out front now, Millett still leading both McCann brothers. Kevin, then Brian. Brent Butler runs fourth. Austin Beers rounding out the top 5.
I'm trying to watch his entry speed and his exits in 2.
He's going to take care of the tires on this thing. If we do get a long green flag run, I'd fully expect him to be up there challenging for these next 4 cars ahead of him. Beers using all the racetrack out of turn 2.
30 laps, man. I don't know. I feel like 30 laps is still too early.
And caution on the speedway again. Zachary Cleek in trouble.
I think we need to start putting like an age limit on racing or something, you know?
So caution number 2 on the speedway. Now it's for the 11 of Zachary Cleek. We saw him in a battle with Steve Durbin previous to this. We'll see if that had anything to do with it. Cleek way up the racetrack. Little wiggle on exit, and here comes the 88. Makes a little bit of contact. That was Jason Nile but just enough to send the 11 around. Just a little kiss to the inside wall. Superficial damage, if anything, for the 11. Maybe a little bit of
no way
anger and pride.
Oh, man. Carson Quaffle just wrecked trying to fake pit road. Get it on the broadcast. Get it on the broadcast.
So, 29 laps in of 200. Zach Millett continues to lead. Had 2 cautions for 5 laps and only 1 lead change, and looks like pit lane is open. And Millett decides to stay out. Thought he was going to drag everybody with him. Oh, and Carson Quappel goes around.
Oh, man.
With that bit of a fake
Actually,
there,
this is better that it's delayed a little bit,
because
because you can get
off guard.
the reaction and then
Quapple's
get to
roll back up into
look for it on
We'll
the broadcast.
see if he
It's
gets to
perfect.
keep that spot. Take a look at it just a moment ago. This was coming to pit lane. Everybody jumping on the brakes, coming to pit lane, and then nope, never mind.
Ben McCann's flying.
Oh, Kyle Campbell there got to the outside. We'll back this up a little further and watch it from the tower.
That's what I've been running up front.
And I don't know if Austin Beers is going to get dinged there. He
Just
was
in 3 and
inside
4.
that commitment
I'm kind of
box
running wherever
and then went back out onto the track.
Kevin McCann's running in 1 and 2.
Looks like no harm, no foul for Carson Quappel. Just a little bit of a whoopsie. Pace car lights are still on, I believe. Indeed they are, so we'll go through.
Yeah.
Look at our top 10
Tough
here.
on
Zach
these
Millett
restarts,
continues to lead. Kevin
not a very
McCann
big
runs
track
second.
for
Brother
as many
Brian
cars
McCann in
as there
third.
is.
Brent Butlers runs fourth. Austin Beers in the number 64 in the 5th position. He's made his way up 3 positions.
This,
Carson Quappel, after a near miss there, coming to pit lane, or better yet, not coming to pit lane. He runs in 6th still. Kyle Campbell in 7th. Garrett Johnston runs 8th. TJ Majors up a couple of spots in P9. Christian Strader runs 10th.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's too early.
Pace car lights go out on the 1 to go here. Next time by, we'll be back racing. It'll be lap 32 when we take the green flag.
Adam Benefield fella too. You know, he's close. Good luck, boys. Ooh, that was tight. Yeah.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Continues to lead. Austin Beers now firing off well. Looked up the middle there. Tried to get in between the brothers McCann. Lots of room to race here at Iowa Speedway, but Austin Beers trying to go up the gut. Thought about going 3 wide there. Settles in behind Kevin McCann in about the 4th spot, but alongside Brian McCann. Millett with a lot to look at in the rearview mirror. He's got to pay attention to what's out front. Battle has subsided, at least for a little bit here, but Austin Beers was able to make short work of Brian McCann. Moves himself up into the 3rd position behind Kevin.
Oh, that was a massive slide job. NASCAR modified
Brian
tour
McCann
champion
trying to put
there
the power
behind us.
back
Just to
down,
the slide job.
pressuring
That's
Austin
so
Beers
sick.
wants that 3rd spot back. Brian McCann, the pole sitter here tonight, falling now back to the 4th position.
Well, I watched him do it on Kevin, so I gotta anticipate it. If he gets up here.
Oh, a little bit of contact. Austin Beers up the racetrack, going for the 2nd spot on Kevin McCann.
Boy, that broadcast is behind,
Kevin
isn't
now
it?
back to the bottom of the racetrack. Neither driver wants to give here, but Austin Beers up to the top side, finally gets clear of the 33. Now sets his sights on Zach Millett.
This will be the time of the race where we see who is using their tires.
On board now with the 64. We got Shady Acres in the chat. Says, here we go, Kyle Hardy in the 35. Kyle Hardy running back in the 28th position. Up 8 positions, though, quietly working his way forward. Last lap for Austin Beers was a 24:53. Millett, though, ran a 24:34.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
About 3/4 of a second of fall off so far. Millett's fastest lap at 23:64. More action a little bit deeper in the field, just outside the top 5. TJ Majors in the 6th position, ahead of Brent Butler
You know what's interesting about this too
Butler
is
with
this is
Garrett
actually a
Johnston
setup
to his
built by
inside.
one
Gray
of the
and Green,
NASCAR
number
crew
15.
chiefs. I'm not sure who it is because I'm brain dead with names, but it actually kind of feels like your typical open setup. So it actually feels
Shady
pretty
Acres
damn
back
sweet,
in the chat
not
says
gonna
it's
lie.
a long way to go, but he's a
feels way more
master
familiar than
tire
those
wear
fixed setups. That's for damn
management.
sure.
So let's see what he can do. Keep the car clean, keep the fenders on it. Maybe he'll be there at the end. Almost quarter distance here at Iowa, so he's got plenty of time. Steve Durbin making a move as we're 3 wide off of 4. Gavin Henson might have scraped the wall there, trying to give everybody as much room as possible, but they got through it cleanly. Durbin and Johnston. Durbin making waves here, moving towards the front. Now alongside Brent Butler. This would be for the 7th position. Still side by side as they go down into turn 3. It's clear of Butler. Durbin found some speed there on the bottom of the racetrack. He's made 3 or 4 passes in just a couple of laps. Now right there,
Yeah, you're getting a
behind
mix of the
TJ
guys who are
Majors
going
and
hard and then
Carson
saving.
Wappel, and keeps it on the low side. Now alongside the 6 and looking for more. It's the thing about grip. Yeah, it's great. But you know what's better? It's 4 new tires. Tires that he took on lap 29. So Durbin out there taking full advantage of that extra grip underneath that number 81.
I really don't think I'm driving too
Making it
hard.
look good here, already up into the top 5 and driving away from Quapple and Majors. Meanwhile, Majors side by side with Carson Quapple, trying to take that spot away. Oh, rubbing doors with the 5 up the racetrack.
Jesus, 2 tenths though. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Do what I'm doing in 3 and 4. But I'm gonna try to get a straighter exit out of 2. I think it'll really save a little
Meanwhile,
right front
John
here.
Cofield
A
in the
little more
11th
brake.
position, quietly working forward alongside Gavin Henson. Henson in the
Gentle,
black and
gentle,
white
and
number
straight out.
39. Christian Strader behind the both of them. The number 29, the orange and yellow machine. Meanwhile, Durbin now looking for 4th on Kevin McCann. Won't be long before he takes the 3rd spot from Brian McCann, and he'll be right there with Austin Beers. Zach Millett, meanwhile, has stretched his
Yeah,
lead
Steve
out
just
to
ran
1.7 seconds.
Oh, he's got new tires. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna shit around now. What do we got? We got
Durbin.
26 laps of fuel left.
Let's see what
if
kind
we
of
can
lap times he's going to run
stay
now.
up
He's got a
here as
little bit
long
of
as
clean air
possible.
out in front of him, fresher tires than Zach Millett. The deficit 1.6 now. Durbin's up into P2.
Oh, he's coming fast too. That's what we need. Is a caution would be awesome.
Last lap for
Caution
Steve
would be
Durbin,
so
a
perfect right now.
24.42, 2.5 tenths quicker than the race leader. He's cut the deficit down to 1.2. Battle now for 3rd, Beers and McCann. Beers hangs on to it as Brian and Kevin now battling for that position as well. Meanwhile, Carson Quapple has fallen off a little bit here. He's back to 7th, in danger of losing that position to Cofield here in a moment.
This car feels great.
Quapple doing a good job hanging on to the spot, keeping Cofield pinned to the bottom of the racetrack.
He's not coming as fast.
Gives him a little
Unless
bit
maybe
more
he
room
just
to
got
open
loose.
up the wheel, but Cofield didn't catch on in time. Cofield gets clear, takes the spot.
I like that. That felt way better.
Back out front, Zach Millett continues to dominate here at Iowa Speedway. Steve Durbin really cut into that race lead, cut it in half, but now it's kind of stabilized here at about 0.8 of a second. Tires falling off now for Durbin, and things pretty equal between the top two as Millett runs a 24.78. Durbin's still quicker by about a tenth. But I think the closer he gets to that 31, as Zach gets the wall a bit there off turn number 2. Closer he gets to Zach, puts himself into a little bit more dirty airs. That may be affecting the handle on the 81. We got Cowboys in the chat, says, has William Tyndall caused any wrecks tonight? Not yet, but there's still time. Austin Beers still hanging tough in the 3rd position. Brian McCann, though, back to the back bumper of the 64.
I'm hoping once he gets maybe another 10th here, that dirty air will start messing with him.
Majors and Kevin McCann side by side. Brian, though, alongside Austin Beers, might have the spot here in turn 3. Austin goes way up top of the racetrack, much like we've seen Zach Millett do tonight. We'll see if he's got the run out. No, slide job up the track, crossover from Beers. Looks back to the inside of Brian McCann, headed down
I can
into
hear
1.
him hit that bump. Hear the RPMs rev up.
Beers can't slide it up the racetrack in front of the 3 just yet, but still alongside. Better exit for Brian McCann. Beers will have to tuck in the tire tracks of the 3. Try it again. Meanwhile, TJ Majors with his hands full trying to get around the 33. Oh, drives him up the racetrack. Majors and Kevin side by side, door to door in turn 2. Kevin gets around a little loose for Brian McCann on exit. Keeps it ahead of the 64 of Austin Beers now, so McCann up to 3rd. And it's tough when both these McCann brothers are up front fighting for positions. Makes you wonder who you're talking about.
I can't believe we're still ahead of him.
So far, so good. Still a ways to go as we continue to run green. Restarted about lap 32, I believe it was. Gone 32 since then. Again, the fuel window was 68 to 72 laps, but we've had a couple of cautions break that run up, so expect these drivers at least able to go further on a tank of fuel, but you may see some guys come down in favor of just bolting on the tires to pick up that lap time. Over a second of fall off right now for the race leader. In fact, 1.2 seconds the fall off for Zach Millett based on his last trip around. And Steve Durbin now closing the gap again. He's got it to 0.7.
We're a 10th faster than him the last couple. That's great. That's really, really good. We're still flirting with the times of McCann too, which is good too, because he's
Millett
always
able to
fast on the
just
long
find
run.
another gear here, starting to put distance back on Durbin again. It was a tenth quicker the last lap. Still just under a second the advantage for the 31. McCann has built some distance between himself and Austin Beers, but Kevin McCann and TJ Majors tightly tucked together here. Majors
Car's
still in the tire
on
tracks
rails
up to
right now.
33.
Running 8s and 9s.
Old Tom Janikowski in the chat again. Thanks for checking in, Tommy. I feel like Tom's here every single broadcast here at Track Limits Network.
Setup
Really
is
appreciate that.
fan-freaking-tastic. The guy with new tires came within a half a
Helps us out
second,
with
and
the
I'm pulling away
viewers.
from him now.
Well, you guys are watching, though.
So
Feel
they're
free to hit the like
definitely
button, follow,
important
share,
for
subscribe.
25
the whole nine.
laps.
Now we've got the 4 here working its way through. That's Chris Quick. Now, Quick is a lap down. He made a pit stop at lap 56. Slade Benish is also on pit lane here. So some drivers opting to take tires now. Expecting maybe some more continuous green flag action here as we're in the original pit window. Some guys might be saying, you know what, I'm going to undercut here, put the tires on, see what I can gain, and maybe stay out if we catch a yellow, knowing that the leaders are going to be pitting here relatively soon.
Yeah, is it spread out pretty good? It looks it on the track
Millett
map.
now really stretching the lead now, 1.3 seconds over Steve Durbin. So no pressure for the 31, at least for the time being. Durbin still in second. And
Hell yeah.
quite a ways up, even on Brian McCann. Almost 2 seconds ahead of third
Gonna
place.
get some green flag pit stops here then, most likely. Okay, Austin's heading in. What I have on him this time, I had 4.5.
Adam Benefiel applying pressure to Chris Mefford. These guys can't get away from each other. They were in each other's doors
4
quite a bit
laps.
as of late. Might see more of it now as Benefiel still tucks in behind. Daniel Dixon in the 92 in behind them.
Yeah, me too. One more, I think.
And Austin Beers on pit road from the 3rd position. 4th position. So scheduled stop here for the 64. Kind of expected this. Tires a little bit more important right now than the fuel game. Right side's going on. The number 64 of Austin Beers.
Going more.
Sunoco
Feels too
race
damn
fuel
good.
being dumped in. Crew around to the left. 4-tire change for Austin Beers. Spins the engine up. Heads back out into the action.
Be very low. It comes up quick.
Brian McCann now headed to pit lane. Real shallow entry into that pit stall there.
Definitely.
He had used every bit of racetrack to that inside wall. May see Millett and Durbin come down here soon after, but then again with the lead that they have, they might just stretch it all the way to the end of the fuel load. Kevin McCann now also on pit lane as Brian stops in his pit box. Adam Benefiel, Carson Quapple. So green flag stops now underway. Zach Millett takes it from the race lead. Gives it up to Steve Durbin. Durbin will take over the top spot. Millett ready for his first stop of the night. Into that second pit stall. .15.15 for Zach Millett. He'll head on back out. Now Durbin from the lead.
Got a little clear track. All right. Okay, Austin's still behind me by second and a half, almost
TJ
two.
Majors inherits the race lead. Cofield to
That's great.
second. Mormon, Hinson, Tyndall, the top five. Not for long. Majors now peels off. He'll come to pit road. Big gaggle of cars coming down
lucky
now.
dog
It's
position,
Hinson,
that's
Tyndall,
fantastic.
Johnston, Butler.
Tires were 56-65.
Four tires and fuel for the six to TJ Majors. Now Matt Mormon, the race leader. Now, here's the caveat with Matt Mormon. He made a pit stop at lap 29, so he's got a little bit ways to go before he has to worry about fuel. He's likely going to stay out there, cross his fingers, maybe catch a caution. He'll pick up all of that track position, and it might, just might be enough to drag everybody else back down pit road. If not, he'll come out. Yes, he'll lose the track position in that cycle, but he'll be back there with a little bit fresher tires than everybody else. We saw how beneficial that was for Steve Durbin. Could do the same here for the 60. Kyle White in the number 13 trying to get his lap back the hard way. He'll get it done into turn one. Zach Millett will be the next to try and get a lap back. Again, these pit stops happening under green flag conditions. Track only 7/8 of a mile. You're going to go down a lap. So Zach wants to get that position back, as he just does. Puts him on the lead lap in a good position here if the caution were to come back out, or the remaining cars come and complete their green flag stops. So Mormon now with a
that never
8-second
fails.
advantage over second place Zachary Cleek. It's about a third of a
I got my
lap.
lap back.
So you see it there in the timing and scoring. Only 4 cars still on the lead lap. Those that have completed their pit stops, that would be Zach Millett.
Yeah.
The top 3 drivers still
Kinda
ready
sounds
to
like
make
it's the
when the
same
caution
people every
comes out.
time.
This
Kinda
is
walk
going
me
to work
through the lap
out
here, please.
wonderfully for Matt Mormon, Zachary Cleek, and Chris Wally.
Do you
Gained
guys,
a lot of
do you
track
guys have
position.
eyes on
It looks
McCann?
like the 35,
Brian McCann?
Kyle Hardy in trouble to put us
Or if
under
you're
this
close to him.
yellow.
I just got to see if he pits here.
So Brian McCann in the lucky dog position at the time of the caution.
Oh, shit.
See how many wave arounds
Yeah.
we end up getting.
Yeah, we didn't. No, we didn't. Just a moment ago here, put us under the yellow for the 3rd time. William Tyndall right hooks the 35, keeps it off the 93. Hardy will spin down the backstretch. Don't know if he gets into anything. I think it'll tires
come
are
to a
too new. I
stop
don't wanna
without
give 'em up.
incident, but enough to draw the yellow either way. So Zach Cleek, Matt Mormon, Chris Wally on pit lane under the yellow flag instead of waiting till it was time under green. Should get them into a decent position for the restart.
Yeah.
Tommy Janikowski in the chat was saying that Iowa is our clash race in the EMSN series on the
Need to get-
20th.
need to
Looking
get rid of the
forward to
guys like
starting
that, you
this
know?
season.
Yep, that was the EOL. That was him.
There's a ton of wave rounds.
So as Millet was able to get back on the lead lap prior to the caution coming out, he'll inherit the race lead. Now he made his stop lap 104, sorry, not 104, lap 77 as we work lap 87. May have to throw an extra yellow flag lap here to get all the wave rounds taken care of. We'll see how this plays out. Not 100% certain, but it looks like Tyndall.
So we got P4
might
and 5,
go
which is
into the
actually
back.
P3 and 4 on brand new tires. Actually, P2 is as
Trying
well.
to get in line either way.
Everybody else, I don't know what the deal is here. I don't know what's going on here. Is this a wave around? I'm pretty sure these guys have to go. Yeah.
Just a moment ago, our third caution of the night was between William Tyndall and Kyle Hardy.
Pace car in 3. Yeah, that was somebody just
doing a
dumping
great
somebody.
job getting checked up and not
That sucks,
selecting
man.
anybody else.
Oh, man. So I got 12 laps on my tires, and the P2, 3, and 4 are brand new tires. It'll be interesting.
I think we're getting the one to go this time. We'll see if we add an extra lap here. I think they're trying to get these wave rounds done earlier than normal. Typically, we wait
Everybody
till
else,
we're on the
though.
one to go. Seems like the race
Pretty equal.
admins may have executed that a little bit sooner than normal, trying to save from having to go an extra lap. We'll see if we can get
I
everybody
think you got a
lined
good
back
point,
up
though,
in
Tim. I
time.
think hopefully we can keep her going. Yeah, right?
Lights are out.
Can we get Brian on screen here? Let me,
Yeah.
We got FCR Timmy 5603. Can't we just use names? Says, as a Rusty Wallace would say, that Zach Millett guy has a fast hot rod tonight. Certainly does. Been pretty quick so far all season. 3 wins to this point. Trying to get number 4 tonight. Ken Couch in the chat says, hey, Steve, dang, I'd be 15 laps down with this field. Pretty stout bunch right there. Definitely a good group of drivers front to back here in the IROC Challenge Series. Putting on a good show here tonight at Iowa.
Green flag.
Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air.
Honestly, even if these guys send it and pass me, I'll be... As long as I stay with them, I'll be okay. Feel good with the long run speed.
Millett maintains the lead. Zachary Cleek now to the second spot. Mormon falls back to third. 13 to Kyle White, not on the lead lap. Mormon hanging on to the third spot. Chris Wally shown in the 4th position. Oh, Mormon catches the wall there off 2. Zachary Cleek, though, running down Zach Millett. Looks like he's got 10-lap newer tires as he lays down the fastest lap of his night at 23:61. This is the difference here, only 10 laps. Cleek able to hang with Millett, not able to complete the pass just yet, but he'll change lanes up the racetrack.
Looking okay so far.
Billet now starting to get some separation from the 11. Meanwhile, Matt Moorman holding his own in the 3rd spot. Chris Wally 4th. Another big wiggle out of the 60. This is the battle at the bottom of the top 10 here, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Jason Nilgis in the 88, running in the 8th spot. 3 wide behind him. Steve Durbin in the middle, up the racetrack, trying to stay off the door of the 34. Doug Wysocki,
Yeah, we just got to keep with it, I think.
lap down.
Yeah, even if he passes us, it'll be okay.
Correction, he's 34th? No. 30th.
Halfway.
Not the first car, 1 down.
He's going to throw it in like
Garrett
that and burn his
Johnston
stuff
in
up
the middle
anyway.
now. Adam Benefield trying to go up the middle now. Benefield running 11th. He takes the spot from Adam Pettit.
Hard to get tires cooled down in a place like Iowa. You're always on it.
A lot of lead lap cars mixed in with some lappers here, so it's a little tough with the timing and scoring. Just keep an eye out on the left of your screen for the driver and the number. Match them up and figure it out from there. Tim Schofield, though, one of those lap down cars in the mix. Schofield running in 27th. So he drives in behind TJ Majors. Majors in the 7th spot. We got Anthony Mears in the chat looking for another good run for Josh Mears here tonight. Josh running back in 18th. Started 30th, so far so good for the driver, that number 36. Brent Butler hanging it wide out in next to the 36 there, was able to straighten it back out, didn't make any contact. Keep an eye on Adam Benefield. He's shown the 41 in the timing and scoring. This is one of the drivers, a little flip-flopped as far as that goes. Shows the 0 on the door, but he's working his way up now into the top 10 in the 9th position. Trying to get 8 here from Garrett Johnston. Zach Millett continues to lead here at Iowa Speedway in the fast laps 200. About 6 laps past the halfway point here tonight. We're going to step aside, get our track limit side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Spartan Transportation
Oh
and
boy.
Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs.
That's enough laps, I
53-foot
think.
dry van shipments, auto transport
I
shipments,
think that's enough.
full service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC series. Kyle Steffens, UMP modified
What do you got
Silver
now?
Crown driver, and Cordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm hitting. Lots coming. I know it. Yeah, exactly. Ah, this guy. Fat rascal took
Need
two.
insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back.
97,
Whether
even
you're
with
blazing
those
down the
numbers,
highway,
I don't
protecting
know.
the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need.
Yeah,
Auto,
right.
home,
I agree.
life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get
Well,
started.
I don't want Adam up here, damn it. How did I stayed out here? It's me and Adam, first two cars fresh.
Back at Iowa Speedway for the Fast Laps 200. Working our fourth caution of the night. This one involving Steve Durbin. Saw it there in the side-by-side, coming together with the two of Neil Quick. Let's go back and take another look at it.
So I've got two old tires in front of me compared to Adam's one old tire car.
Neil on the outside, they were three wide there with Cofield on the bottom. Banging doors there in the top two lanes. Then Durbin coming up the racetrack, thought he was
You
clear
still got
of the
two sets left?
but makes contact. Kind of right hooks
Yeah, me too.
himself there up the racetrack. Hard impact for the 81. Might be a night ender for Steve Durbin.
Gonna have to be very careful on this, even if we lose some track position. Yeah, it's gonna be sketchy up front here. First three cars, old tires. Gonna give lots of room. You too, man. Yeah, right.
So pit stops were completed. Top three drivers have stayed out. Zachary Cleek, Matt Mormon, Kevin McCann. So another pit cycle, and Mormon still up in the top five. Mormon in that black number 60. No IROC paint on that machine this week. We're ready for the restart.
Green flag.
Good jump for Zachary Cleek. Little wheel spin out of the 60 of Mormon. Opens the door for Adam Benefield. Kevin McCann also jumping to the bottom of the racetrack for the second position. Oh, one car in the wall. I think it's Chris Wally. Wally slow. Christian Strader in that wall. Now there's contact. Now we're going to have another yellow.
Caution. Boss, you're doing a
Yeah,
good job.
no.
Go give us an update on that
I'm
car.
too scared of the track position.
Chuck Sweeting in it. Chris Wally involved. A lot going on there on the restart. Fifth caution
Another
of the
15
night.
laps
It
to
came
get a
out
caution.
quick.
I'd probably dive down, though. Just to be sure.
We'll just watch it from the restart here in real time. Just keep an eye on the 51. It's a big stack up in the outside lane. I don't know if Wally missed a gear or spun the tires, but they got through that part of it okay.
Yeah, not worth the
Watch
damage.
51 way up the track in the marbles. I think it starts to step out on him here. Moreland sliding back too. Yeah, just an overcorrect there for Wally.
Gotta
He
fight
got
the
it up
urge.
in the fence. It looks like Strader had the same problem. They might have been okay, but Wally coming down the track got into the 93. Chris
there's some dead
Mefford in
bodies
it,
in there.
William Tyndall in it. Doug Wysocki snaking his way around on the top. Watch it from a little wider angle here from the blimp.
Adam. Swerve left and right
Yeah,
real
Wally's
fast if
got
you're
the
in here.
marbles up there. Saved it almost, but overcorrect. Tank slaps it up the track. Strader
Think
did
that
the
counts.
same. Then everybody else
Can't
is
die
gonna
here.
pile it
We
in
need
here.
to survive this.
Quapple did a good job to miss it on the bottom. But the opening closed at the bottom of the racetrack. Tyndall gets in it.
It's good to see that the leaders had a little bit of pace right off the bat, though. Cleek at least did. Kevin definitely did.
Watch it from Tyndall's perspective. At speed. Slade Benish. Let's watch it from there because he's the one that came in and kind of sideswiped Chris Wally here. Let's watch it from his perspective. Back it up a little bit. At speed. Able to drive away from it, but there's probably some right front damage on that number 93. Yo, quick back on pit road. We're already lined up again for the restart. Pace car lights are out.
Me too, man. Laying back big time behind me.
Green flag, green flag.
Zach Millen on the charge. Up the middle here, takes a spot from Austin Beers as he's now up to the third position from the restart. Now into second, sets his sights on Adam Benefield.
I don't know. I think still too soon for me.
Oh, trouble. The 92's around and the caution's out again. Dan Dixon, I don't think he got into anything, but got crossed up off turn number 2 in front of traffic, and the yellow is out again. So Dan Dixon in trouble here, shown in the 27th position. Started 15th here tonight.
front pack stayed out.
Take a look at it. 92, top of your screen. Just loses it on entry. Maybe a little bit too much rear brake. It comes around. Almost had it saved. Dirt tracking it. Still doing it. Go. Oh, Gavin Hinson gets into him just a touch. And now she's not going to get saved. So round it goes. Sitting broadside. Lucky to not collect anybody else. So some takers on pit road. Carson Quapple, the first of them.
Right. Yeah, right. Always turns up at the front of the field, doesn't he?
Just a quick fuel up for the 5.
Yeah, 5 car did a splash
Same
and go.
story for just about everybody behind him, with the exception of those getting some repairs made. Not a bad call there for Carson Quapple, though. He was deep enough in the field. Might as well come in and top it off. Not quite in that fuel window just yet. But getting close. Again, a full tank of fuel should get you about 68 to 72 laps on a full green flag run. Still think tires are a little bit more important, but if it comes down to a fuel mileage race at the end of this thing, you're going to want every drop.
Yeah. Yeah,
Looks
right.
like Quapple's going to restart back in the 19th position. He'll have work to do. Now the front row will end up being Adam Benefiel and Zach Millett. Both these drivers run over with Team Conti.
It is insane. All right, good luck, don't die. Right?
Green flag.
No, I'm in P3.
Benefiel with the advantage into turn 1. And Austin Beers took full advantage of Zach Millett there on the restart. Jumps up to the second spot as Cleeks up the racetrack, hard into the wall. Collects Kevin McCann and Gary Johnston.
There will be a caution. That's same fuel.
And just like that, under the yellow flag again. You know what they say, cautions
I'm gonna copy the
breed
guys in front of me. I'll
cautions.
let you know
We're
if they
seeing
do.
plenty of that here in the last handful of laps. Started with Zach Cleek catching the wall out of
Nope,
turn
they all
number
stayed
2,
out.
bounced off of it and down into the path of, I believe it was Garrett Johnston or Kevin McCann. We'll get another look at it here in just a moment. Here we go. So Cleek looks like he got the
Yeah,
wall
I'm shutting
twice.
mine off.
Back it up again. No, he was just up the racetrack.
See the 11, that green machine up at the top. In the marbles. Not a whole lot of grip. He was doing okay. I think it over-rotated right there. Yeah, it's starting to come around on him. A little over-correct, which is going to send him up into the wall here, which he'll bounce off of it and then go into the path of Kevin McCann. That sends him into Garrett Johnston. Brian McCann got a piece of this also. Brian got on the binders quick enough, might have escaped this without any significant damage. Oh, Carson Quapple gets a big chunk of cleek there at the end of it, unable to avoid the 11. Oh, yeah, he's got some big damage. Up into the fence, Carson Quapple in big trouble now. What we thought was a good idea to top off the tank,
Quaffle got
put him
in that
back
wreck.
in the pack,
big
and
time
he gets
damage.
caught in this one. So now the tables turn just a bit because now Austin Beers
the
will
right thing,
restart
Adam. You
from
did the right thing.
P2. Zach Millett in the third position. We'll see if Zach can pay back the favor here and take advantage. The second place machine on the restarts, at least here in iRacing, at a pretty significant disadvantage. Obviously do not want to beat the leader back to the stripe for fear of getting a penalty, so you kind of have to wait.
I was
and
sitting here
react on
daydreaming
the
thinking I
leader.
was starting P4.
Whereas Millett can kind of time his as long as he doesn't get overly excited over it. He may be able to
No,
take advantage
P3.
and take that second position back from Austin
I'm
Beers.
sitting here, I'm rolling behind Adam like I'm starting up top, and TJ rolls to the outside. I'm like, hey, what's he doing? Oh, I'm retarded.
Benefield's going to take the top, though. So this actually seems like it may hurt Millett a bit. Now, Benefield knows how good Millett
I'm
is.
shocked.
These guys race together quite a bit, not just here in IROC, but also in officials every single week. Work together on Team Conti. Doesn't want to give him too much of an advantage here because he knows he's going to be a contender. Austin Beers certainly no slouch either, but he's given Austin the bottom here. Looks like TJ Majors, though, will start to the back bumper of Adam Benefield as we get set for another restart here. Finish up caution number 7 here at Iowa.
Green flag.
Benefield gets the lead down into 1, drops it way to the low side of the racetrack. Cuts off to 64. TJ Majors now around Brian McCann. Hangs on to now the 3rd spot. McCann clears Zach Millett. Now remember how strong Millett was earlier on in this race. Was able to utilize the top lane, make all his time up top. McCann was pinching him down there. He wasn't able to get any kind of momentum on corner exit. Now that Millett tucks in behind the 3. He's got Adam Pettit knocking on the back door, but now single file. Down into turn number 3. We'll see if Millett goes to the top, and he does. Everybody within the top 12 right now. Made their pit stops at lap 110 as Brian McCann now puts down his fastest lap of the night. 23:54 for the driver of the number 3. Working around the outside, and you know what McCann is doing? He's applying what he learned being in the tire tracks of Zach Millett. Utilizing the high lane, at least on the exit there of 3 and 4. Gets alongside TJ Majors. Majors able to hang on to the 3rd spot. Benefield still with the lead over Austin Beers. First lap's really led here this afternoon, this evening for Adam Benefield.
Majors and McCann side by side again. Brian drops it down to the low side. TJ pinches him down low. We see the 6 do that quite a bit. It's a great way to try and defend the position. Keep that guy on the low side right down to the bottom. Don't allow him to open the wheel. Kind of take away that momentum on corner exit, and it pays off for the time being. Meanwhile, real loose on exit there for Brian McCann. Hangs on to it, but now he's got Millet all over the back bumper. Adam Pettit closing in too. Pettit in the 49. Garrett Johnston still in the mix, running in the 16th position. And Dixon to his outside. Little wiggle out of Majors and Millet, but Millet carries the run, never lifted, gets almost all the way alongside Brian McCann. Austin Beers still stalking Adam Benefield for the race lead. About 3/10 back is the 64. Just under 61 laps to go here from Iowa Speedway. Showing that race recap. Adam Benefield, your leader. We've had 7 cautions tonight for 29 laps and 6 lead changes. These lead changes occurring at the stripe. That's where we count them.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Caution.
And caution's out again.
Boston, you're doing a good job. You want to give us an update on that car?
Cody Wally in trouble again, and he's come straight to
This
pit
takes
lane.
that whole fuel game right out of it.
And Cody just brings this one out on his own just by stopping on the racetrack. No incident per se. So unfortunately, an unnecessary yellow here at Iowa. We'll see if the race admins make this a quick one. While we've got the time, let's take a look at the sponsors again for Season 11. We got to fix that graphic. Fast Laps, Open Hearts, of course, Meff's Shirt Shop, Coles County Speedway, R&R Racewear, Johnston Timbers, LLC, 3 Wide with DJG, Charity Motorsports, and Care for
Need a
Kids.
good launch out of this box.
Pit lane open, and the leaders are on it. Nile just stays out, though. Adam Benefield, Austin Beers, Majors, McCann, Millet, and company all on pit lane here, working caution number 8. Not a bad call here. Everybody's within their fuel window at this point. Benefield down and away. It looks like a short pit stop for Adam. What's a 2-tire stop? 9.6 seconds for the 0. A big gamble here from Adam Benefield, but might be paying attention to the left side tire wear. Maybe it is not significant enough to be concerned. Again, they made their pit stop at lap 110. And put them at about 90 laps or so.
Interesting.
Maybe a little bit less all the way to the green flag on those left sides. We've had some cautions to interrupt that. So not all of those laps, of course, in anger. He's the first one out. Benefiting from those right sides only. That said, Austin Beers took 4. So did Brian McCann, TJ Majors. Well, I'll make the list easier. The only driver to take 2 tires was Adam Benefield. Everybody else behind him with 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles.
Again. Man. I tried it, and it's pretty sketchy. But he can drive it. He's ridiculous.
So the drivers that have stayed out: Jason Nilgis, Daniel Dixon, Matt Mormon, Chris Quick, Kyle White. Your top 5 right now out there on older tires. Nilgis' last stop was lap 110. In fact, here, we'll pull it up right now and take a look at the graphic. The number indicated in the bar there, it's laps since their last stop. Again, it's a little deceiving. We've had some caution laps to interrupt a lot of that. Now the drivers 6 through 10 there's a little tiny hash of a yellow color there. You might not even be able to see it on your screen, but it does indicate that it's only been 1 lap. It's just not big enough to display the number because those drivers just coming off of pit road during this caution. Benefield, again, the only driver that took 2 tires on this pit stop. Everybody else behind him on 4.
Good luck, man.
Try this again, though. Half a lap away from the restart here at Iowa Speedway. Had a couple of long green flag runs at the beginning and mid sections of this race, with the last 20 or 30 laps or so have been a little chaotic.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air, and Niles just fires off. Great battle here into turn 1. These guys timed it well. Austin Beers quickly up into the 3rd spot alongside Matt Mormon. Beers making short work of Adam Benefield. Again, right sides only on the 0. Austin taking full advantage of the fresh tires. He's now in contention here for the top 2. Settles in behind Jason Nilgis. Dixon continues to lead. Beers up to 2nd now, challenging for the lead. Not quite enough out of turn number 2, and Adam Benefield following him on through. Still has some pace. Beers sticks the nose to the race lead off turn number 4. Coming down to the line to be lap 149 as Mormon pounds the wall. Dixon doing a good job trying to hang on to it, but it won't be enough, as now Benefield will jump to the 2nd spot, or at least try to. Beers takes the race lead. Dan Dixon doing a great job trying to hang on with the fresh tires behind him, just proving to be too strong. TJ Majors now up into 3rd. Now it's Brian McCann's turn to the bottom of the racetrack. Zach Millett likely to follow him on through. John Cofield in 7th as Dixon gets the wall. 50 laps to go here from Iowa, about to be 49 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Oh, trouble behind. Adam Pettit up the racetrack, straightens it out. Oh, but still they get collected. And the caution is out as the 4 piles in. Strader gets into the 14. 9th caution of the night. Doug Wysocki trying to get it righted. Whew. Race officials trying to let that one go green.
I feel like I've got good speed. I just can't. I don't know if I've got enough speed to get around.
Still piling in after the fact.
These guys.
Caution number 9. Adam Pettit seems to have gotten
tough,
the worst
of
it. Let's take a look what just happened.
Yeah, no, I need the long run. I need the freaking long run. Of course, we can't get one to save our lives.
I think this started in the middle of 1 and 2.
Get some more late cautions.
Really
Maybe
get
people would be
into one.
tempted
So
to pit.
watch the 49
I don't
and
know.
Dan Dixon.
I do have a
We'll
set
go
over the
real
wall
time.
still.
Dixon got loose off of 2, set Pettit down the racetrack, and up the track he goes. Must have missed the braking point. Butler able to squeak through, maybe a little bit of contact. Josh Mears gets a piece. I think that's Chris Quick in the 4. For those drivers that stayed out, now going to get a chance to make pit lane. Christian Strader with damage. Of course, Adam Pettit the same. Chris Mefford sitting in pit lane with some damage. Biologist will roll out.
Yeah, it's awful. It is awful. You just can't make any progress. And I can't get to the outside in 3. So it gives me a bad exit.
Now through that cycle,
So every lap the
Austin
guys
Beers
behind
was
me
able
catch
to
me a
take
little
the race
bit,
lead away from Adam
kinda
Benefield.
stalling
May have
out.
had just a nose out in front of the 0 at the time of caution. You see Neil Quick back on pit lane. Now, Neil, I believe, has gotten back on the lead lap. That car is beaten and battered. You'd think we're at Martinsville or Bristol, but he hasn't thrown in the towel yet. We've had enough cautions that we've gotten a lot of these drivers back on the lead lap. You see Neil
Keep
trying to
starting
make sure
damn
everything's
inside,
nice and
man.
straight.
Can't catch a break there.
Turn the wheel left to right. He's going to bolt on 4 new fresh tires. Likely to be his last stop, at least for regular service, before this one's over. Maybe if he gets another opportunity to come down and work on the race car, that could be the
We
case
get a good
too.
look here. Hell yeah. We've been stacking up a little bit into one, so just be aware.
Strader now, big time trouble. He hit the pit wall and he might be stuck here. Well, he gets freed up. To rewind this here. I don't know what happened here to the 29 because he wasn't even in his own
That's
pit
what's
box.
been happening to me. Actually, every restart I've been down here. Actually, I think the last one I had an opportunity, but it
maybe a
didn't have much
steering
room.
wheel failure. It just turned left right into the pit wall.
TJ's laying way back here.
Interesting. Well, half a lap away from green. Finishing up caution number 9. It'll be lap 156 when we get back underway. Austin Beers, Adam Benefield, the front row. Austin takes the low side.
Green flag.
Outside lane didn't fire off. TJ Majors takes advantage. He gets up to second. Zach Millett shown in 4th alongside Adam Benefield. Benefield still on those right side tires, though, able to take second from TJ Majors. Majors now alongside with Zach Millett to the bottom. Oh, Millett slides up the track, gets into the left door of the 6. TJ up the racetrack, still not able to get clear, does Millett. They're still side by side. Majors is going to pay it back here on the front stretch. Austin Beers, Adam Benefield, TJ Majors, the top 3. Millett unable to complete the pass, now gets back inside the 6, but to no avail. He's got to worry about Brian McCann there to the outside as well.
I got P4 out of the freaking start.
There will be a caution.
And the caution is out again. Dan Dixon now in trouble.
And for the 10th time, the caution comes out. I think that was Chuck Sweeting in the 75.
Lucky dog come back.
Just a little bit of contact. It's all it took.
We should have been over by now.
Kevin McCann
almost
almost
11 o'clock
getting in
here.
that,
Yeah.
just barely squeaking by as the 93 rolls in. It's a big chunk of that. That was Slade Benish.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna hang on shirts. What about me?
Adam's reminding me we're not teammates here. That's where I'd like to live. That'd be sweet.
I'll send you some pictures if I go.
Just can't
Yep.
seem to get a long run in here at Iowa Speedway
12 and a half
now.
more
We
years.
did such a good job of it earlier. With that, we're going to step out of here real quick, get one break
I
out of
was
the way.
gonna say,
We'll be
yeah,
back
there's
with
a bunch of them
restart
down
after
there.
this.
I'll have to go back and see if TJ got loose off two there. Pretty good contact. Lucky to not have damage. It might happen.
Back at Iowa Speedway, working caution number 10 on the one to go. Front row restart's going to be Austin Beers and Adam Benefield once again. Row 2 will be
All right, good luck.
Jay
Don't die.
Majors and Zach Millett. Millett now will have the outside, probably where he wants to be. We've seen him make up a lot of ground out on the track tonight, working that high lane, especially out of turns 3 and 4. It's been a pretty aggressive battle between himself and TJ these last handful of laps prior to the caution. See if we get more of that.
Green flag.
Outside lane doesn't really fire off again as Benefield gets mired back. Austin able to go up the racetrack, really set up his entry to turns 1 and 2. But Majors jumps up to the second position, clear of Zach Millett, clear of Brian McCann, clear of Adam Benefield.
I just can't catch a break, man.
Zach Millett making moves, looks to the inside on Brian McCann.
Can't catch a break.
Tries to get 2 for 1, sticks the nose alongside Adam Benefield, but not going to complete that pass. Might not even get it done with Brian McCann. McCann scrapes the wall down the back straightaway, still side by side in turn number 3.
Battle for the race lead. Austin Beers, TJ Majors. TJ stuck the nose in just alongside for a moment. Unable to keep it there. Will tuck back in behind. Beers now puts a little distance, a tenth and a half, maybe 2, back to the 6. But TJ real good off turn number 4. Closes the gap again. Takes a look to the inside. Nothing doing there. TJ looks to the low side again, side by side for the race lead here at Iowa. Austin Beers a lane up, a little more banking in that second lane. He takes full advantage, drives it out of 4 and takes the top spot or hangs on to it. So watch this battle for the lead. We'll go on board with TJ Majors. Last 2 laps for these top 2 drivers, separated by only 0.02 of a second. I think TJ might be just a tick faster here as he's battling the dirty air off Austin Beers. Coming to 28 laps to go. Austin Beers still hanging out of the top spot, but here comes Adam Benefield, applying a little pressure to TJ Majors here. Got alongside just a touch. Keep in mind, though, Adam out there on old left side tires. He only made a 2-tire stop to hold on to the track position. Hasn't hurt him terribly bad. Hasn't been able to mount too much of a charge, though, since then. He had a very fast race car, especially out in front. See if he can do anything with these right sides. TJ back to the bottom on Austin Beers again. Real deep there, all the way up to the door, but still not enough to make it stick. Beers with the run down the back stretch, keeps the lead into 3. Majority of the field single file, finally getting into a rhythm here after this last restart. Again, 10 cautions here tonight. Heck, we'll take a look at that. 10 cautions for 41 laps.
Almost killed
They
him.
had 8 lead changes, and Austin Beers continues to lead now with 25 laps remaining. And McCann still fighting it out here. McCann in the 4th position. Brian has definitely seemed to have adopted that high line through 3 and 4 that Millett is making work really well in the early running tonight. Both drivers now utilizing it. I gotta wonder if it's really helping Millett there, if he's got the 3 ahead of him there in that same lane. He's losing a little bit of front downforce on the front of that 31 machine. Drops it now to the low side in 1 and 2. Beers continues to lead now and stretching it out as Benefield gets to the 2nd spot.
He just turned right across my nose. Not much I could have done there.
Finally alongside Brian McCann. Might be clear, but nowhere to slide up. Now he's alongside TJ Majors. The pace on the 6 has fallen off quite a bit, and he gets into the 6. Majors hangs onto it, but Millett will take the spot. Majors will lose 2 or 3
Outside
positions
car never
and falls back
dictates
to
the
P7,
line.
moves Zach Millett up into 3rd. Now with a little bit of clean air on the nose of the 31. Does he have the pace to run down these top 2 with less than 21 laps to go? I don't think he's done looking in the mirror, though, because here comes Cofield and Brian McCann.
Yeah, he's right my way, too.
Majors definitely heated up that right rear in that slide just a couple of laps ago. Real loose off corner exit again, gets into the fence. Hinson now trading paint with the 6 as TJ's now falling back to 8th.
That's the second lap car right my way.
A little bit of lap traffic coming into play here. The number 93 is Slade Benish. Millett had to put a lot of wheel into it there off of turn 4 to get clear of the 93. McCann will follow him through. Benish very slow. Not sure if Slade's still fighting the handle on that race car. He was involved with a pretty significant right front hit. Steering certainly not where he wants it to be as the field continues to flash by. Just hope everybody can get through clean. Back out front, Benefiel and Zach starting to close the gap on Austin Beers. This might just be Austin trying to cool the tires a little bit, get prepared to defend that race lead and a potential win here at Iowa Speedway. "15 laps remain. Austin Beers hold on. Led 37 laps here tonight. Wants to make it another 15. If he can do that, he'll secure his first victory of the season. Chris Wally way up the racetrack, giving plenty of room to the leaders. Jason Niles is trying to take the 10th spot from Brent Butler with the lap car Schofield in the middle.
Had to do it, Brian.
Niles just takes it. Butler, though, going to battle back around the outside. Still to no avail. We'll see if he's got anything on exit here, but Chris Wally is going to be the fly in the ointment here. Will really slow the pace of the 76 of Butler. Wally trying to stay out of the way best he can, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. Now just will build some separation between himself and Butler. Now 11 laps to go. Beers turning up the wick just a bit now, almost 4/10 the advantage back to Benefiel.
I killed my right front playing there.
Now only 10 laps to go here from Iowa Speedway. Starting to wonder if all these drivers here in the top 5 or 6 got all the good out of those tires that they had in them. Not much has changed within the top 4, but now John Cofield, which may have saved a little bit in reserve, putting some pressure on Brian McCann here for the 4th position. Garrett Johnston there in the mix as well. Don't forget Johnston involved in an incident here tonight. Stuck with it, now battling for a top 5 position with 8 laps to go. Mormon up the racetrack. Mormon led some laps here tonight, but now a lap down. Austin Beers continues to lead over Adam Benefield, Zach Millett, Brian McCann, and John Cofield. Garrett Johnston in P6 right there. Off turn number 4. Beers looking for 5 laps to go.
Ooh, baby, I gotta be careful.
Austin stretching that lead just a slight bit more, another 10th ahead of the 41 slash the 0 of Adam Benefield. Still quite the battle here behind Zach Millett. Cofield and McCann still going at it.
Come on, Adam.
Will we make it to the end without a yellow flag? Coming to 3.5 to go now. Still watching this fight with the 58 and the 3, Cofield and McCann, but Cofield drives it deep down into 3 and 4. Millett scrapes the fence there in behind Adam Benefield, lost the nose a touch on exit. Cofield takes the position from McCann, trying to get more as Millett goes up the middle, trying to make it for a position to take the 2nd spot from Benefield. Cofield's going to take advantage, though. He'll jump to the inside of Millett and Benefield with 3 laps to go. He's got a nose up into the 2nd spot. 2 laps to go for Austin Beers. He's loving to see this in the rearview mirror. Just wants to get to that white flag as the 31 into the door of Adam Benefield. Christian Strader, the lap car on corner exit. They're almost 4 wide. They got clear of it. Off turn number 4, Austin Beers sees the white flag.
Ooh, baby.
1 lap to go. Beers with the race lead over John Cofield. Cofield's cut it down to 2/10. Will he have enough? Will he make a move into turn number 3? Nothing doing yet. This might be all she wrote here for Austin Beers. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. From the 8th position, Austin Beers will come to the checkered flag and win the Fast Laps 200. Cofield, a valiant run in the closing laps to finish in the 2nd spot. Zach Millett hangs on to 3rd place, and he's going to almost lose it in turns 1 and 2.
DJ Majors is mad that he turned in on me.
Austin Beers picking up 51 laps led here tonight, all late in the running.
Let's watch a replay. Well, let's see what the replay shows. I haven't seen it yet.
Austin Beers parks it here at start-finish line, picks up the win here at Iowa Speedway.
Usually the car on the outside doesn't dictate
aside here, get
the
a quick
line,
break,
but
and we'll be back
I'll see it.
with our
Hold on.
top 3 finishers
What lap was it?
after this. Stay with us.
Where was I? I don't know what lap. Let's see. Yeah. Said I'm watching the replay.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport.
I didn't want 4
shipments,
lanes, but there was another
full-service
lane there.
in-house brokerage,
It just kind of
drop
came
block
across my
facilities,
nose.
just-in-time
Wasn't the intention,
deliveries to
but
all
I mean,
auto
if you're coming across my nose,
facilities in St. Louis, Missouri,
you can
Kansas
see my
City,
telemetry. I
Missouri, and
checked up as hard as I could, but you were
Indianapolis,
right across me.
Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC series. Kyle Steffens, UMP modified and Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
You start out in the 4th lane, come right across the 3rd lane. I'm in the 3rd lane the whole time. Whatever you say, man. I mean, if I got a car under me, I don't turn across them. I mean, again, I'm not looking to wreck you, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? It is our 179 into turn 3. Hey, good win, man. You guys get a chance after this whole shit. Lap 179 into 3. Let me know what you guys think.
Need
DJ's
insurance coverage that's built for
swears
speed?
that
Frank
I just
Yea's
drove right
office
through
in South Charleston has your back.
I
Whether
don't
you're
see it that
blazing
way.
down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made
That's-
for you. Scan the QR
Yeah,
code
that's
on your
what I was
screen now
afraid
to
of.
explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304
Seems like everybody's-
744 7700
everybody
to
agrees.
get started.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean, honestly, if he turned down a little sooner, I would have checked up for him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's...
Back at Iowa Speedway, the IROC
Okay, he's doing the
Challenge
winner
Series
first, yeah.
Fast Laps 200 in the book, and Austin Beers picks up the race win. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver of the number 64 machine and pull him up into the broadcast booth. Austin at Seawood Track Limits Network. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Austin, congratulations, man. A decent qualifying position to get
And you can
things
see my
underway here
telemetry
tonight.
as soon as he
You worked your way
right
up
now
with
starts
that
cutting
track
across. I'm
position.
jamming the brake. To
Made some moves very
stay off him,
early
but-
on, to no one's surprise, knowing your short track background. But going from a Tour
Let's do this
modified to this
broadcast.
O'Reilly car, how do you prepare yourself to run these short tracks? Is it all that much different?
Yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of tire saving in a modified, and I feel like you needed it tonight as well. You know, we could push the right fronts off pretty easily. So, you know, track position was very key there. So just, you know, hitting the pit strategy right and getting through the field on those restarts was pivotal to, you know, to get this win tonight.
With all that said, clean air seemed to be very important here at the end of this race. A lot of different drivers led laps here tonight. It seemed like once they got out in front, they were able to control the pace of this race. Was it that difficult during when you're back, at least in the pack, as far as having the dirty air up on the nose of these race cars?
Yeah, for sure. You know, when you're following that guy, you know, the air getting taken off your nose is just going to create a push and hurt your right front even more. So, you know, you could control your... When I got to the lead, I was able to control the race, you know, just fight off TJ there, and it's so tough to pass, you know, like I said, with how much the right front wears. So as long as you could, you know, keep the outside and the clean air, it was almost impossible to pass if you're the leader. So, you know, just was taking my time on those restarts to, you know, get that track position and you know, keep in mind who was on what tires and where they were in previous runs. And fortunately enough, we were able to, on that, you know, like 60 to go restart, we were able to get ahead of those guys on older tires, and then clean air was key.
Held off the guys on a bunch of restarts there at the end, and then John Cofield in the closing laps got pretty close. Maybe had something for you if you had some more laps, but at the end of the day, you crossed the line first. We look forward now to Darlington Raceway next week, a very unique racetrack at both ends, different banking. How do you prepare yourself? Obviously much different than the short track as you roll into Darlington next week.
Yeah, Darlington's very different. You know, just going to do some practice laps, you know, to prepare for it. And hopefully we can keep the right side on the race car. I think that's key. Just trying to, you know, stay off the wall, keep the car as minimal damage as you can. And you know, these things with aero are huge, so any kind of damage is going to hurt your race car. So I'm just going to try to have a nice clean race next week, like we did tonight, and hopefully end up out front again.
All right, Austin. Well, congratulations picking up the win here tonight in the Fast Laps 200. Who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank IROC Challenge Series. You know, I just joined recently, and I'm having a blast racing. It's very competitive, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Care for Kids and R&R Racewear, as well as you guys at the Track Limits Network. You guys put on a great show.
All right, Austin. Congrats again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck at the Lady in Black.
Thank you very much.
Austin Beers, your race winner here from Iowa. Next, we'll talk to the 58 of John Cofield, who, man, he was just a ninja out there tonight, quietly working his way through, got up into that second spot, and really put the challenge on to Austin there in the closing couple of laps. John, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got me?
Yeah, man, I got you.
John, congratulations, man. I was just saying it before we pulled you up here. We didn't see a whole lot of you here tonight. You were kind of towards the front, maybe top 10, top 5 for a bit. But in the closing stages of this thing, you were right there in the mix. Made some bold moves to take positions from Brian McCann, Zach Millett, and then put a challenge on to Austin Beers at the end. What was the key here at the end of this? Were you just saving tires for when it was really time to go?
Yeah, I was just trying to roll the bottom, and I was hoping for some long runs. Just rolling the bottom, but got closer and closer to the end. We took that last set of tires. I was like, well, I need to get up high and start running with these guys. And seemed like everybody was running super hard the last 20 laps. So I kind of backed off those 5 guys that were running pretty hard. And then right there toward the end, you know, I was like, I'll get the bottom one more shot and see what it'll do. And you know, maybe 1 or 2 more laps, I'd have got side by side with him, I think.
Certainly would have been fun to watch. A great finish here to close it out, though. Started back in the 13th position, finishing second, not too shabby. Going to carry that momentum now into the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway next week. Obviously, a very different racetrack, one that you got to be careful at. But speaking of saving tires, you're going to have to do a whole lot of that next week. How do you get ready? How do you prepare yourself mentally and even physically for the Lady in Black?
Yeah, that's one of the tracks I like right along here with Iowa. I love this track. Just suits my style, running the bottom, just rolling the corner. But yeah, Darlington's a whole different animal. These cars got a good bit of horsepower on them. Just try to keep the tires on them coming off the corner.
All right, John. Well, again, a job well done here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Track Limits Networks, for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it. Of course, Chris Wally for everything he does for the IROC series and all their sponsors. Fast Laps, really appreciate them, and all the sponsors that have come on to IROC. Really appreciate all them guys. And Lions 3D Designs.
All right, John. Congrats again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Yeah, man. See you.
John Cofield, your second place finisher here at Iowa Speedway. Next, we'll talk to Zach Millett, driver of the number 31 from Team Conti. Started outside pole. I don't know how this one worked out. Again, him and Brian McCann running the exact same time in qualifying, down to at least the thousandth place. Either way, Millett starts to the outside pole, but finishes here in the 3rd spot after leading a handful of laps. Zach, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Steve, got a copy.
Zach, congrats, man. 3rd place finish. I hate to say a 3rd place is a salvaged finish. You had a very strong race car. Obviously, put it on the front row. Took the top spot right on the opening flag, but unable to get it back there to the race lead in the closing laps. What was the difference maker here tonight?
I'm sure you've heard it a bunch, man, but that dirty air was just absolutely insane tonight. I mean, even one car, it just chopped it up enough to where you could make any ground. And once you got a few laps into a stint, it seemed like kind of that high exit off 4, and kind of that middle lane in 1 and 2 was pretty dominant. So it was just hard to get enough of a run to get beside somebody, and then if you don't get the pass complete, somebody sneaks up to your outside and then they pass you. So it was tough, man.
We saw early on you running a rather unique line, especially in 3 and 4, at least now that you mention it. You were making some hay up there, but later on in the race, it seemed that Brian McCann had caught on as he was running in front of you at the time, using that same lane. Did the dirty air play a big factor, even if it was just the two of you up there?
Yeah, definitely. Even just the one car. Yeah, the first stint was great. We had really good pace the whole time, start to finish. And I think most of it's just that clean air. But we were able to pull away from the field, and I forget who it was, but somebody had fresh tires there, and they caught us pretty quick. But it actually equalized pretty quick, and stayed ahead of them for those pit stops. The cautions were pretty tough tonight. They came out at pretty random times and kind of messed up strategy. But yeah, it's overall pretty happy with pace, and got to say sorry to TJ. TJ Majors there.
Get out of my head.
Yeah, I figured I was reading your mind here. I knew that was coming.
Was next.
Yeah, no, we just got together into 3 there. I mean, he says I ran through him, and I say he came across my nose, and it's just one of those racing things. I think I've got enough people in here that I've raced with for years to kind of let them know I didn't do anything on purpose. I would have checked up if he came across my nose a little quicker, but it is what it is. I hate it happened either way. You know, I haven't had any run-ins with anybody, and I usually don't. So either way, I'm sorry for what happened.
Well, we saw you guys get together a couple of times, and he was quick to pay it back. You door him, he'd door you, and you guys continue on. And then again, there was some contact late. I think that's what you're just referencing just now. But TJ ended up finishing back in the 9th spot. Will you talk it out a little bit more after this, or do you think it's all said and done?
Yeah, it doesn't matter either way. I mean, we're both going to show up next week, and I mean, I don't know. I haven't raced with him before this season, so I don't know. I kind of race a week at a time. Whatever happens this week, I don't remember it going into next week. It's pretty much a clean slate for me. Even that earlier contact, we might have rubbed doors racing, and then I was going to look back to see if he got loose and came down. 'Cause he doored me pretty good off too, and I didn't know if it was an accident or hey, let's try to damage our cars and take us both out. I'm not quite sure, so I don't know. I guess we'll see next week, and I don't know. It's not how I play ball. I go week to week, and I race everybody clean.
Going into next week, Darlington Raceway, a very difficult racetrack. Some of those veteran drivers likely to excel at that place. How do you feel about Darlington?
Oh, I love that damn place. I love that place. I really hope we get a setup like we did tonight. I mean, this was like a pleasure. It was kind of more what I was used to running, man, with kind of like the open setups every week. It felt really good. It didn't feel like that fixed, tight type of setup, So if we have something like that at Darlington, man, I think it's going to be fun. It's either way with the competition here at IROC. It's going to be awesome.
I did hear a rumor that I think it was Marty Lindley that provided the set here, and I think he knows a thing or two about putting setups underneath these O'Reilly cars.
No wonder.
With that said, Zach, congratulations. 3rd place finish here tonight. Thanks for talking to us. Who do you want to shout out to?
Well, first I want to give a shout out to Garrett Johnston there for the little boost at the line. Got me that P3. So it was kind of chaotic there. I got to start racing trying to finish ahead of Brian. He's coming up in the points pretty quick, so I got to try to stay ahead of him. So thanks to Garrett for that little boost there. Thanks to you, Track Limits Network, for the broadcast as always. Big thanks to Team Conti Sim Performance, IROC Series, Chris Wally, everything he does, everybody behind the scenes, America Racing, Track Bar Media, EMR Paintball, and that S4 guy on Twitch. We're going to upload this to YouTube after and watch the chaos over.
All right, Zach. Nice job here finishing P3. Good luck next week in Darlington.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, 3rd place here at Iowa Speedway. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look here at our race results. Of course, we talked to race winner Austin Beers. 2nd place was Jonathan Cofield. Zach Millett finishes P3. Brian McCann, 4th. Garrett Johnston comes home in 5th. Adam Benefiel in P6 on those 2 right side tires. Gavin Hinson was 7th. Chuck Sweeting comes home in the 8th spot. TJ Majors relegated to the 9th position after that contact with Zach Millett. Jason Nile just comes home in the 10th position. 11th went to Timmy Schofield. Brent Butler was 12th. Casey Bentz 13th. Kyle Hardy was 14th. Josh Mears was 15th. Devin Aker finishes in the 16th position. 17th went to Kyle White. Kevin McCann, strong early, will finish out in the 18th spot. Doug Wysocki was 19th. Zachary Cleek led some laps this evening, finishes 20th. Neil Quick, 21st. Matt Mormon was 22nd. Chris Waldy, 23rd. 24th was Slade Benish. Christian Strader, 25th. 26th, William Tyndall. Chris Mefford, 27th. Kyle Pendergraph, 28th. Dan Dixon, 29th. 30th went to Chris Quick. 31st, Adam Pettit. Carson Quapple out of this one early. 32nd, 51 laps down. Cody Wally, a tough night as well, 33rd. Steve Durbin finishes 34th. Kyle Campbell was 35th. 36th place went to Shane Haas. Cameron Brownell, 37th. 38th, Chris Harrison. Mike Koch, 39th. And the 40th and 41st positions, they did not take the green flag tonight. Craig Bristol and Pete Ruzick. That is your race results here from the Fast Laps 200 from Iowa Speedway. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for tuning in here this evening. It was definitely a fun one to call. Tempers Flare, it's a big short track, but it's still technically a short track. We saw Zach Millett and TJ Majors come to blows there in the latter stages of the race. We'll see if that has an effect on their race behavior next week. So tune in for it. Again, I hate to say it, we're going to tape delay Darlington. I'll be traveling all week next week, so we'll have to catch that one up. I believe Saturday afternoon is the tentative plan. We'll get that information posted as soon as it's official, and you guys can at least watch it back when we broadcast it on a live tape delay. Thank you again. Congratulations to Austin Beers picking up the Fast Laps 200 win here tonight from Iowa Speedway. We'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for watching.